Mark spun around and landed a heavy punch square on Billy's face. But Mark wasn't really a match for hot-headed Billy. He seized the right moment and sank his teeth into Billy's ear, the guards rushing over to break up the fight. From that day on, no one in the prison dared to mess with Mark again. Right after the fight, Mark's elderly parents happened to arrive for a visit. Not wanting them to see his bruised face, Mark asked a guard to cover for him. The guard kindly told his parents that Mark's name had been left off the visitation list. Disappointed, they left without seeing him. Mark didn't realize this might be the last chance he'd ever have to see them. A few days later, Mark found a hidden phone in his cellmate's belongings. Cell phones were contraband, and if discovered, Mark would also be punished. He told his cellmate to get rid of it immediately. The cellmate agreed without hesitation. The next day, Mark called home to explain why he'd missed the visit, only to learn his father had suffered a heart attack and was in the ICU. Before he could get more details, a prison riot broke out and the line was cut off. Desperate, Mark wanted to use his cellmate's phone, but was told it had already been disposed of. Fortunately, a guard introduced him to the prison chaplain. Mark asked the chaplain to help him find out about his father's condition. The next day, the chaplain brought him the devastating news that his father had passed away. Mark was crushed with regret for not seeing his father one last time. Through the chaplain's phone, he confirmed the loss with his mother. Mark wanted to attend the funeral, but that would mean being shackled and standing beside the guards. His mother insisted that he had to be there no matter what. 3 days later, Mark was granted special permission to attend under guard supervision. But just as he was about to walk out the prison gates, alarms blared. This meant there was contraband in the prison, and during the search, officers found Mark's cellmate's phone hidden behind the TV. Mark was implicated and lost his chance to attend the funeral. Even though he missed the funeral, the chaplain held a small service for Mark and read aloud his mother's eulogy. It gave Mark a little comfort for the guilt he carried toward his family. 2 years later, the warden invited him to speak at a crime prevention conference. Mark told his story of drunk driving, how he had hit someone while drunk, wanted to cover it up, but turned himself in after his wife urged him to do the right thing. By then, the victim had already died, and Mark was sentenced to 4 years. Every day in prison, he was haunted by the image of the victim. He knew he could never erase his guilt, but he decided to spend the rest of his life helping at-risk youth. His speech received thunderous applause, and even the victim's family left in tears. That moment gave Mark even more resolve never to go down the wrong path again. On the way back, Mark was taken to a meeting place chosen by a prison gang leader. But Mark chose the right path. He refused to get involved in crime. The gang boss flew into a rage, filled a sock with pool balls, and stormed into Mark's cell to strike a deadly blow. Luckily, Mark's cellmate intervened in time and saved him. In his 3rd year, Mark was released early for good behavior. He personally apologized to the victim's family. They didn't fully forgive him, but his sincerity moved them to try to let go of their anger. Mark understood that for the rest of his life, he would carry the weight of his crime and keep searching for redemption.